everybody, I'm Dashni Sampath Kumar. So today our topic is why individuals blog about their work. So what is actually a blog? A blog is actually an online journal. So what happens in an online journal? Whatever we think, like whatever we have on our mind, any opinions or any our views, we post it on a public platform, and that is actually a blog. See, nowadays there are a lot of communication platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and there are so many other platforms where we can express our views. So whatever we have in our mind, like not only related to our workspace, related to any other information, and many people write blogs about politics and other information and other sciences that they know, anything that they know, they do blogs. And what especially happens in a workspace, that when you do it in a blog, there are a lot of things that get affected by it. Organizations also get affected by it. At the same time, even people, individuals get affected by it. According to today's statistics, we can see that there are 30 million blogs and every day 70,000 blogs are increasing. So slowly organization, they have to start accepting these blogs. Because what happens is when we write a careless blog, we are more likely to get dosed. Dosed is nothing but we are dismissed from our job just because we write a blog, a careless blog where we are negatively impacting the organization. So a blog is something where people follow us, where we can influence some people and where it can create a negative impact both on the organization also on the people that we impact also. So there are two ways, so that we have to be very careful about what we write. It should not be defamatory or it should not be a hazard to the organization. So that is very, very important. So slowly what happened was people started accepting the blog culture. Because previously in many instances there were a lot of dismissals, there were a lot of rejections and firing happening in corporate companies because their employees were writing blogs. But blog is a place where employees are able to vent out their feelings, where they can get a validation for what they think. So that is how employees saw the blogs as. But what happened was these organizations, they started dismissing, they started firing their employees. So this stopped when people and organizations, they started thinking from the shoes of the employees. Because what happens is when an employee writes about something, he means it. He takes time and he's writing. So people started in the organizations, they started to think, why is this happening? Why is the grievance redress cell not working in an organization? What should we do to reduce the blogs? Because blogs is more or less like a gossip, right? Whatever we feel, whatever negative impact or positive impact, we write it. So if it's a negative impact, the company has to work on how to resolve it. So that's what happened. Slowly people started accepting the blog culture. People started seeing where the root cause is and finding out the flaws. And next one is, this should be used in a fair usage. So blogs should be used in a fair usage. There is a limit, because we cannot do defamation to our organization that we work for, because we have to respect their copyrights and we have to respect the companies, and we should make clear that what we think is based on ourselves and not on behalf of the company. So that there are so many companies which implemented some certain regulations before blogging. IBM has gave 11 principles and regulations that they have to follow, and then they have to do a blog or any public account that they hold. And what happens is the employees still feel that it's potential. Whatever the organizations say, whatever the organizations do, the employees who are working, they started feeling that their creativity is hindered, because that's the only place where they get validation and where they get views on their where they get the validation from their views. So now I'll be stating about what is the LOG's goal setting theory. So in short, to the point, if I have to say, a goal setting theory is something that decides that a person should have a goal to be determined and to be motivated, and according to his goals and intentions only, his behavior is determined. So whatever his goals and intentions are, towards it only he'll be working, and that decides his attitude and behavior. So that is basically a goal setting theory. And this, when it comes to the blogs and when it comes to the case study, we can see that if a goal of the employee is to positively impact the organization, then definitely he'll be positively impacting in his blogs also. But if his intentions are bad and if he's not satisfied with the organization monetary wise, or any kind of disrespect that he's facing, or any kind of grievance that he's facing in the organization, if that is not cleared in the organization, automatically what happens is that his goals and his intentions slowly change, and he slowly starts complaining about the organization, and he starts turning his back around his organization. So that's what happens in negative blogging. So according to me, if we compare the goal setting theory with this case study, then I would conclude that this is totally individualistic, because we are nobody to decide somebody's goals. So it's totally individualistic. If a person of the organization, if he's going to positively impact the organization, then he must be happy about the organization and the workplace that he's working for. So automatically, if he is not ready or if his goals are different, then automatically he is going to negatively impact the organization. So if we analyze this case study with the goal setting or theory, it is totally personal and it is totally individualistic. Thank you.